And welcome. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in this world today. Welcome to another setting of Rage Across New York, Living World of Darkness. As Simon, like he does every day, he's been at the training ground since before dusk. Planning to be there till late at night. And he's training in his rune form.
A rune form?
A rune form. My bad. That's not what I meant. In his Krynos form.
That's just awkward. Do I have a Galliard form? No, that's fine. I mean, yeah, Chloe at this point has finished with some of her regular duties of the day, and is herself in the process of training as well. She's been working really hard on learning how to use hand weapons. On this particular day, she is heading over that way, carrying a wooden practice sword. There's no particular reason why she should have to, use the regular sword at this point. She doesn't intend to kill any dummies today, or anybody else that she's fighting. She will be so she's heading over. She's in Hamid, and just kind of carrying this. Honestly, wooden swords tend to look kind of silly, but at the same time, it's exactly what she needs right now. So yeah, she is just entering into the training grounds and kind of looking around for a second to get a feel for where's the best place to go, because she will need to find herself a training dummy, and yeah, she will probably eventually catch sight of one and start heading that way. One that's not in use, I should say.
When Simon sees her coming, because well, talking is kind of easier in Hamid. Feels easier, feels more comfortable, and so when he sees her, he'll turn Hamid, and he'll go towards her, showing neck and throat. Well, throat and belly. Neck and throat. What am I saying?
That's really easy to do.
Yes. But yeah, he'll show throat and belly.
Okay. She probably would have noticed him out of the corner of her eye, but didn't really have any reason to, say anything, and he was probably a little too far away. But once he starts heading towards her, yeah, she'll kind of pause. She's like probably just almost at the training dummy that she had seen that was free, and she'll pause and she'll kind of in a very kind of like it doesn't matter kind of way, but she doesn't say that. She just kind of waves it off. Just kind of if he's seen her around, he knows that she tends to be very casual with these things. So she just kind of waves off the submission. So I mean, she's acknowledging that it exists, but she's not telling him not to do it, but she just waved it off.
So he'll get back up and smile. Here is redeeming daughter Raya.
That is a long name.
Yes, Merc. Yeah, kind of is. I was wondering if you had time to talk before you started training.
Yeah, sure, I guess. She kind of scratches her head for a second. And she'll step back from the dummy that she had been heading to, but she's still carrying the sword. And sort of walk off to a bench that's off to the side a little bit.
I'll follow her.
Okay. She'll, because if she's not going to actually use it right that second, she's not going to go take a dummy. You know what I mean? That doesn't make any sense. Let someone else use it. So yeah, she'll kind of drop to sit on this bench, and you can see that she's gonna set down this wooden sword next, just on the ground next to her, and she'll pull like a hair tie out and kind of pull up, to basically pull her hair up on top of her head, and sort of some sort of a loose updo hair thing, something to get her out of the way for what she's about to do. Because of exercise, and hair is bad for that sort of thing. And she's doing this while she's looking at him. She's like, it's not like this takes very long, but it's clearly a very girl thing to do.
He'll sit, although he'll sit more like on his feet that are on the sit part of the bench, and will sit on the like top part of the bench, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, he's up a little higher than her.
Yeah,
a lot higher, because she's actually only 5'2".
Yeah, and he's like 6'4".
So he's like way the hell up there, and she's just gonna look at him like,
yeah, he'll go, oh wait,
did you say you want to talk? Because that's awkward.
Smart, wait, yeah. Yeah, and he'll slide down. I was wondering how you've been doing since we've come back from Detroit.
I'm fine, I guess. Are you referring to anything in particular, or?
I mean, I know the talk you had over there mustn't have been easy. With Zoe?
Something kind of flickers across her face, that you want to set something up to take in Peony. It's up to you. It's not that big of a deal. It's clearly some sort of emotion thing, but it's not like very strong. Okay? I mean, unless you just desperately want that information, we can just play it off that you see something.
No, it's good for now.
Because she's not trying to hide this. Well, she's muting it a bit, but she's not hiding it entirely. And she said, "Oh, you mean Zozo?"
Yeah, Zozo. It also, I mean, Zozo the Wonderful. Zozo the Wonderful rhymes.
The irony that someone gave her a name that rhymes with mine. And it wasn't our birth parents. So I really can't blame the Black Spiral Dancer.
I mean, destiny, maybe.
Weirdness is what it is.
Yeah,
because I don't think...
Oh, go ahead.
She just shrugs.
I mean,
I'm
if you look at the biggest coincidences in the world, there are two guys that were twins. Both were adopted. And both adoptive parents gave them the same first name. They have the same. Both adoptive parents had the same last name. They also both had a wife with the same first name, and both have a dog, and gave the dog the first name, and didn't know each other or about each other till after all that.
Do you really think?
True story. Look it up.
Kind of look at it and be like, do you really think that Zoe and I are that much alike?
I know. I mean, you guys are obviously very different. Although, to be fair, and I think she would be she wouldn't be exactly like you, but I think she'd be more like you if she hadn't grown up in a war zone.
She didn't grow up there. At least not all of it. She's from Boston. Well, she's actually from Maine, but I understand the lack of memories from Maine. I don't have them either. She grew up she was there in Boston until 10 years ago. Which, to be fair, is most of her life, but...
I mean, being a guru is difficult, and on top of being a guru in a war zone from a very young age.
Yeah, it's true. No, I mean, I'll be honest, I don't really connect with her the way I might hope for. I mean, I didn't expect for like the Sound of Music or something to start playing. I wasn't expecting, happy, joy, whatever, right? But I was
That,
hoping for a little bit more welcome than that.
I mean, the whole music thing would be a bit corny, as he smirks. But yeah, I know what you mean. Well, I haven't felt it, but I mean, I can't imagine that what it's like, but it must. I saw that you were obviously disturbed. Maybe disturbed is a big word, but yeah, it obviously hit you. And I was wondering if you're okay.
She's alive. That's more than I would have expected even 6 months ago,
Until nod, she is, and that's thanks to your leadership and your orders. You led us greatly that day.
You guys didn't have to come along. I mean, I'll be honest, I expected my pack to. I had the option. I was not going to order you to come. You don't have the bond to me that they do.
Like I told you, I have lost my brother, and with what you told me, what happened to your mother, it kind of feel a connection with you, and I wasn't going to let you lose a sister.
But I had already lost a sister. Honestly, she's not the first. I never even got to meet Kelly. She was dead before I made it here. She was here too. She was the warder a long time ago.
So you've lost enough already. I wasn't going to let you lose another sister then.
Chloe smiled. She's like, sorry, I guess you probably didn't know about that.
I didn't. But you've told me. And yeah, now I do.
She was in our room.
Huh. Maybe I could have learned from her. Who knows? It wasn't Gaia's will, I guess.
No, I guess it wasn't. I've just been through a lot with this. And I don't regret any of it. At least to a point.
I mean, I know I'm kind of new here, and we don't know each other all that much, but as someone who's lost a brother, and someone who's lost a brother that was very close to him, if you want to talk about it, I'm here. I know I've seen you. You're not someone that likes to show your feelings to most people, or at least not out in the open. But
Have you not heard the
yeah.
litany? Weakness is frowned upon severely, don't you know, in nation.
Yeah, that's true.
And you start letting too much of your private shit get out here, someone's going to come after you. Or they'll use it against you in some way. Keeping your feelings and your emotions to yourself can be a way of at least keeping being a note to yourself and for the people who, say, from people that you trust, because no one's an island. I kind of feel that's just kind of how it has to be.
How nod. I guess I can see that. Yeah. And he'll smile, like kind of his face changes a bit. So I met people that know you, Christopher and Ruth. They say hi. I'll say, what are they? And they'll like be like have a quirky face, like what?
Chloe just sort of blinks. She has to even think. Christopher she remembers quite vividly. Ruth would take her longer. She'd literally met her once. But she was willing to be in Chloe's zone, so she would have noticed it. It's been like a week or two or something. It's been a little bit anyways. And she's kind of, all right, tell me a little bit more about them. Describe them. Tell me, to clarify that I'm thinking of the right people.
Ruth is like kind of short, blonde, kind of cute, kind of quirky and happy in a way. Well, seems to smile a lot. Christopher is taller, has short hair, brown, like dark hair, pirate sideburns. Kind of talks weird, although it's kind of fun to talk with him, to be honest.
Does he have weird eyes?
Yeah, kind of does. And I think I didn't mention anything, but I think he had like feathers in his hair or something.
Yeah. Well, what do you think? Wait, they were together?
Yeah. I mean, well, not at first. I was in a bus and Ruth just came sitting right next to me, which weirded me out. Yes. Also,
As
you had
it should.
Yeah, and he'll nod. Also, you have just told me that if anybody does that, there's a good chance they're supernatural. And then I don't know, the way they talked. Well, he was strange, but he also said something about. Wait, I think he like, and he'll try to think. He didn't exactly say word for word that he can fly, but I'm pretty sure he was hinting at that he can fly.
But they seem to know each other.
Yeah, I mean, the way they were talking to each other, I'm pretty sure they were the same thing, whatever they are.
Okay. Well, that certainly explains a few things if that's the case. Well, I can safely say I have no idea about Gwen. Sorry, I wouldn't have said Gwen. She doesn't know the name Gwen. I don't know about Ruth. I do know she was able to come into, and she'll kind of hold her arms out like her area. She was something, but I didn't know what. She came into a bar one night with this guy who was just kind of an asshole to her, and I felt bad for her. And I went over and sort of slid in, and she didn't slide away, so that ought to tell you.
Yeah, I'm like positive she's supernatural like him.
If they're the same kind of supernatural, I'm pretty sure about him. In fact, I'm about 99% sure about him. He
smiled at her.
Well, he's a changeling of some kind. Seems to have some kind of weird talking thing, like he can't tell the truth or something.
So that's why he speaks this way.
I kept my temper. He was pretty annoying.
I mean, when he was with me, it was kind of fun.
I mean, I've run into him again, but I've run into him a couple of times. Yeah, he was one of the changelings that I haven't run into any in quite a long time. Since at least one of them I know for sure left. Out, and if you allow the manip sub, she will, without rolling it. She sounds fairly calm, but I'll allow a note of something, some sort of something that it sounds more personal. Dimitri.
I thought, but she didn't. I don't think she said it was a changeling. I think she did mention about her husband being something supernatural, but I don't think she ever said it was a changeling.
Got it. So yes, when she says something about that someone that the one that she knew, definitely she knows that he left. And there's definitely a hint of something that tells you that this is more personal than she's trying to make it sound. I'm letting more come out than I normally would without rolling, because it seems silly to roll at this point. Because it's not needed in this scene like this. But I don't know where the others went. I just know that I haven't run into Valeria or Mogram or AJ in a really long time. I'm assuming they must have left with him. So it was kind of cool to see Christopher, and I actually ran into another one recently as well. Big tall dude. Long hair.
I met him last night.
William?
Yeah, William.
I met him once too, yeah.
Yeah.
So it told me that they were around, but yeah, those two are definitely changelings. At least I'm pretty sure, because William confirmed it, and as much as whatever the hell it is he was saying, I think he was trying to say yes, even though he wasn't saying yes, if you know what I mean about Christopher. He pretty much confirmed it as well. And when they have those eyes, man. If someone can get near you and has weird eyes, they're either contacts or they're probably a changeling.
And hold on, note taken. I don't really know much about changelings.
Well, I'll be honest. I have other confirmation as well. I've experimented a little, and on him and some others that I know who are that I'm again 99% sure that they are, and they very much sense as wild. Not super strongly, but they do sense as wild.
So changelings are wild creatures. Good to know.
Like I said, it's no worse than looking at like an artist, some eccentric artist. If you know what I mean. It's not like a real strong, like they're going to drown you like some people. One person that I know. But
yeah,
it's there. But yeah. So if they know each other, there's a good chance she is too.
Yeah, I mean, I was with her and a few other people last night, and yeah, I think they're all the same thing. Well, I didn't know about Will, but apparently, from what you're saying, is the same thing too.
I didn't actually say Will. I said William.
I mean, yeah, William.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to sense wild on him. I didn't have the gift yet. I hadn't learned yet when I met him, which was, I don't know, a month and a half ago, sometime. He didn't like that I was able to tell what he was right off the bat. Pulled the knife on me, and I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, he'll smirk. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if someone pulled a knife on, well, especially you're unicorn. You're like Your totem is unicorn. I mean,
No.
is it?
As
I
she,
mean, sorry,
as she stares at him and kind of points at the necklace she's wearing.
sorry. Yeah, because I mean, sorry, reindeer. I mean, your
Oh,
Pex.
well, yeah, right there. I thought you were trying to. I was going. No, I'm Pegasus.
So like even O's, yeah, was a bit out of the bit. But no, because yeah, no, I mean,
If you mean reindeer,
yeah,
yes,
you serve reindeer,
I do.
and reindeer is, you know, reindeer doesn't take shit. It's just Mercs.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, in Hamid, he could still hurt me with a knife. But as long as I survived that first hit, that would there's a really good chance that might be his last. I don't I because OOC, I think it does lethal.
Yes.
I can't soak that in Hamid, so I have to survive the first hit in Hamid. As long as I can do that, though, shift up and that's it. As far as Chloe imagines it to be. So, yeah, no, I wasn't worried about him. He did pull a knife on me though, but I honestly can't blame him if I. Well, I mean, to a point. I've had so many people that are just kind of like, "Oh, you're from the park," and they like instantly know what the hell I am. That I guess it doesn't really shock me anymore. I'm pretty sure the changelings just tell each other so that they know to stay out of the park, which is actually kind of a compliment.
Yeah, I see that as a compliment. I can see that.
Even more interesting is I had one of them call me a wild woman.
I'll chuckle.
Yeah, it was really very interesting. Her name was, gosh, I can't remember, but she was really weird. She reminded me of like a lupus, the way she talked.
Yeah.
Oh, see, it was Nat's old character.
Yeah, that's what I would think.
I cannot remember her name right now though. The one with the gigantic boobs.
Yeah.
But yeah, she called me a wild woman once.
That's interesting. Wild woman. That's an interesting term.
It is. It is. A little too accurate, but I didn't tell her that.
I mean, you're not a lupus, so they're a bit wild.
No, it's true I'm not, but I'm a Black Fury. And we revere the wild.
You do?
And we're all women. Well, mostly women. You can see where Wild Woman kind of fits, and she didn't even mean it to.
Until not. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a fit.
But yeah, she was a weird one. I never realized until then that they had lupuses or something like that. But yeah, so yeah, they're around. Apparently they're around again.
So, a bunch of them left, and now a bunch of new ones are here.
Something like that. I mean, I don't know if maybe they were around before and I just never met them. You know? I don't go looking for them. Much as I would like to look for one in particular, but no, I have not. I have my own business here, and when the time is right, I will hear from that one again.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't done know William that much. Only been with him once. Well, I guess Christopher too, but Ruth seems nice, and Christopher seems nice as well. They seem like all right people.
Well, my advice to you is be careful. They do have a way of making you see things like they do. It's very different. And if they do it to you without asking you first, I personally have no problem if you are offended.
Yeah.
And, get pissed because that's not cool.
Consent. Yeah, I tell a lot. Yeah, consent is a thing. I mean, I'd like to see what the world as they see, I guess, but yeah, a little warning or at least asking would be nice.
Yeah. So that's why I'm warning you. I'm telling you what they can do. Just some of them are very good people. I very much. Well, I'll be honest. I really, really miss Dimitri. So, and I really like to see AJ again. I mean, we got to fix the problem between us, but I still would have liked a chance to at least say goodbye. That would have been good.
Like smile, like a reassuring kind of smile. I mean, as nice as it is, we unfortunately don't always get to say goodbye. It's sad, but it's the way life is.
You're telling me about that?
And he'll like look to the sky. I am. Why am I telling you about that?
I don't have that answer for you. Why did you tell me about that?
I don't know. Felt like you just needed to hear it. Hey, sometimes we need to hear things we already know. And he'll like smirk. Like it's a mystery.
I will hereby confirm to you that that is not necessarily. I mean, you're right. Obviously, you're right. Life just isn't that nice. But you do get the chance to say goodbye. Take it. It's well worth it.
And he'll nod.
For the fight with my mother and her pack, we summoned back spirits, the ancestor spirits of two people who had promised me they would help. My first alpha, unconquerable son, although he would hate the fact that I'm using that deed name, he would rather hear me just call him Travis. And we summoned my brother Isaac.
Brother or
My big brother, my packmate.
but was he like, well, I mean, you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but was he your blood brother?
No,
True?
It didn't matter though.
True. I mean, I guess when we're in that pack, it doesn't really matter.
No, I mean, that's true, but he was more than a packmate to me. Not in an icky way, but we got each other, you know?
And he'll nod.
Even in a family, there are some people you just connect with more than others. And Isaac is very high on my list. I'm pretty sure I mentioned him to you. I might not have given a name. Because he was also a child of Gaia.
Yeah, you mentioned him.
Yeah. And she'll kind of touch her necklace and she'll be like, he made this for me.
That's really cool.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, he he and Travis both came back, and they helped. And I would not normally summon ancestor spirits without a reason. And we had a reason. That didn't mean I wasn't going to take advantage of it to actually be able to say goodbye. I am not that dumb. So you see why I say what I say.
Yeah.
If you get the chance, do it.
I mean, and he'll nod. It must have been nice seeing them again.
Remind me when I see you again and we're not in the Umbra. I have some pictures I can show you of it. While we were in the Amazon, he and I were helping many of the kinfolk build better housing. And we had our pictures of us with the kinfolk and like that. So I'll show them.
Yeah, look forward to that.
Anyway.
And yeah, at the dummies. So, want to keep on training? Well, you haven't started, but no. Want to train? And he'll smirk.
Do you think you can? Are you asking to spar? Or you just want to train? Because there's a big difference between, and she'll point to your claws, and then gesture to her wooden sword.
No, I mean I was just going to train, but if you want to spar, I don't mind. I was just going for training, but if you want to spar, I don't mind.
I'm not sure I want to go wooden sword against your claws. That seems like, pretend practice weapon that will get ripped to shreds against something really, really strong and pointy.
And he'll smirk. I mean, look at the sword. Look at the sword. I mean, the sword looks tough, but I'm not sure it's enough to break my claws. And he'll chuckle.
No, it wouldn't be. It would not be at all. However, my claws might be enough to do something. Although our runes tend to have, most of them seem to have a certain bit of an advantage. Fair on that. I mean, I have reindeer, which is also its own form of advantage.
Yeah, you kicked my ass the other day.
Yeah, but that wasn't entirely me, obviously.
He'll smirk. I mean, what?
Either way, I find practicing against a person with claws to be not wise, unless it's good to practice in an actual battle.
No, it's not wise at all.
Yeah, so no. If you want to spar, we're not doing it with claws. At least I'm not doing it with claws.
I'll say. I mean, we've sparred if you want to, but up to you. We can always. We'll definitely have to try and spar again when we both have a pack, though. Have a pack.
Both what? Have you considered your options?
Have a side smirk. It was nice working alongside your pack, alongside the Striders of Ice and Concrete.
You were very useful. You did what you needed to do. You did what I needed you to do, and I am grateful for that. You and Katja took down that thunderworm, and yeah. It's not, for me, it's not about who gets the glory in a fight. It's about winning the fight. And that doesn't mean that we should fight every fight dirty or anything. But it does mean that it made sense for Jacob and I to be the ones to go hold that thing down.
No, we work. I mean, I wasn't part of the pack, but I felt that we really worked as one, despite that fact. We, if it wasn't for you and Jacob, I'm not sure I could have gotten that good a shot in. And if I didn't get that shot, Katya may not have had that. Might not have dealt that last blow so terribly.
There's a reason Garu are in packs. It's so that we can fight as a team and win as a team. That and the fact, of course, that we're wolves. And wolves naturally should be in packs. The lone wolf is the one you should be worried about. I mean, there's an exception, obviously, when you first come someplace and you don't have a pack yet. No one's going to judge you for that. But you know what I mean.
Not. Yeah. The old lone wolf is the one you have to watch for.
Oh, I don't know. The young ones aren't necessarily so trustworthy either. It's just your pack is hopefully the one place you can trust. There are exceptions with that. When you end up with a real dick in your pack because you were fooled, and I've seen that happen. But as a whole, you know? She just kind of shrugs. Were you... What you just said was not... It was an answer, but it wasn't really a complete answer.
In health Mao. I mean, yeah, I would be honored to join the Striders of Ice and Concrete.
She looks at him like she's considering this. You've done very well in everything I've seen you do. I can bring this up to my pack and we will discuss it. Because this kind of thing is not something that should be done by just me. I might be their alpha, but this is going to be their brother.
And he'll nod. No, I've talked to the rest of your pack, and they've told me how things are. You decide together, and to be honest, it's not the only reason. It's one of the reasons that make me want to join you.
Oh, I'm interested. So they have described it. That is actually how they described it, though. That we make decisions together.
You're the
glad they see it that way.
alpha, but yeah, they have said that we make decisions together.
We do. This isn't some very strange pack that thinks they need to have an Omega just to control their temper. If I ever have my choice, we will never have an Omega.
Until not.
We are responsible for what we do. You're responsible for what you do. I'm responsible for what I do. That means if I get pissed and I get into a frenzy, then there is not going to be some Omega there who's just waiting for me to beat them up. That's just dumb.
Yeah, not something I'm for. And if you're going to do it, let the Omega fight back, I'd say. But yeah, then just goes for more accidents.
I'm clarifying because that's a very traditional thing, and our pack as a whole, some of us have come from traditional backgrounds, but we don't really stand for tradition as a whole.
Yeah,
I myself am very progressive. So is Jacob.
I'm an Arun and I was born again. and she'll smile. Actually, just like Katja. But yeah, I was in Naroon. I'm Naroon. I was born a Get. I might ask, or I might, even if I can't get what I want. I mean, yeah, I mean, I'll try to calm my nerves by maybe having a fight, but
That's fine.
wouldn't be
That's
just
totally fine. A spar is legit. There's nothing wrong with that. We all have to do that sometimes. You're not dealing with rage issues around here.
Well, yeah, that's the way I see it too. A spa is entirely fine. A spa is what I would go for, but just beating up someone, no, that's
bullshit. Just being a goddamn bully.
But yeah, it feels small. And yeah, like I just said, I mean, you're a great leader. You have heart. You don't let things get to you so easily. You are here for your pack. You risk a lot for your pack. And then there's Katja, who we were both born cats, and we have that to deal with. And there's our character Heather's character's name.
Well, her D name is bites the worm's spine. But Kailani is probably. I mean, you've heard that both names probably.
And there's Kailani, who I get alongside with her. I think, to be fair, when I was decided that I would no longer be a Get, and that I would choose another tribe, the Child of Gaia and the Stargazers were the ones that I was looking at the end. I decided to become a Child of Gaia, but I still look up to the Stargazers. I nearly chose them. And then there's Jacob, who he's not like most other Silver Fangs. And knowing you, I don't think if he was like most other Fangs, he would be part of the pack.
My packmate and I Ping got to know him when he was just a cub. Honestly, Ping knew him better than I did, but I respected him for being willing to speak up and say what he wanted to say right from the beginning, even as a cub. Yeah. Ping suggested him, I agreed with her, and the two of us basically backed him to join the pack, to our Alpha and Beta at the time. She and I were both Cleats at that moment. It was... Jacob and I have fought. We have argued. I have gotten tired of him going on and on and on and on in my head about something that was important. And I didn't question that. It was just that he said too much. But I will assure you that nothing has made me regret him becoming my brother. He's been the most stalwart defender of me and of his beliefs. And I am grateful for the day that we met. For the record, we don't argue nearly as much as we have in the past. But there was one time Eric had to basically tell me to shut up. And she kind of makes a face, and she realizes, hey, mate, he might not realize that Eric used to be our alpha. So she'll kind of be like, Eric Skarsgård.
Yeah, he
was our
the
pack.
Wormful used to be your father. Your pack. Sorry, the Wormful used to be your pack alpha.
Yes. He and I were classed together. He became foster. I became foster soon later. He was beta, while contempt of court was alpha. When Aaron died, Aaron is contempt of court. Eric stepped up to become alpha, and I became beta. And then when Eric left, I stepped up to become alpha, and Jacob became beta. I'm sure you know Kach is the newest of us.
Yeah, I knew that.
But every decision was not made using a challenge. It wasn't what you'd call democratic either. We just basically discussed it until we all agreed.
Seems like a good way to do it.
That said, if someone challenged, we would acknowledge that, I think. There's no reason why a challenge shouldn't be accepted. I will password on to the others, and we will discuss it. And I will let you know what we think, what we say. Okay?
He smiles. Good, thank you. Nice. With that, he'll get up. So, yeah. There's enough dummies left, so we can each have a dummy. And he
You want to be my dummy? She grins at him.
Hey, we said no beating up. He'll smirk.
But it's only with a wooden sword. It's just bruises.
I mean, it might train my stamina, but right now I'm trying to try and get to better my claws.
I'm just kidding you. I really don't. I'm really not in the habit of stand there and just take as I beat them up randomly. That's just silly.
Yeah, I'll change a bit. Yeah, that's. Yeah, that is definitely something I'm against. Although, until look, if you are going to be my puck alpha, there is something I should tell you. I've told you how my brother became a black spell dancer, but there are details, and he'll look, because I'll just take the story from the beginning, but when I was a cub, I came back from training with other cubs after a especially tough day and long day. We were exhausted, we were hungry, we were thirsty. And one cub was foolish. But the hunger got to him, and he took a piece of meat that a Foston had her eyes on. She was Foston, and she was supposed to get the first, or at least get her feeding before him. So she kicked him. She kept hitting him, kicking him when he was on the ground. I asked her to stop, begged for her to stop, but she kept doing it, ignored my questions, ignored my demands. It kept going till the rage got to me, and I hit her. She then took the punishment upon me. She turned into a wolf form and attacked me. I was saved by my brother, but he killed her on the spot. And so this is when we decided it was decided to have the right of the hunt punished upon him. He was going to die. We were going to kill him. And they even...
On your brother?
Yeah. He had killed a Garou, and he was going to be killed by us. This is the right of the hunt. We hunt him down.
I know of it.
And I... So take a deep breath. I was forced to join the hunt. He made it out and joined became a black spell dancer. The day I became a Cleith, when I killed those Banes, the Banes used to be kinfolk to the Garou he had killed. I killed the Banes, and once I finished, I noticed something on the walls with blood were the words "Normal Protection, Simon," and it was signed by my brother. He turned because of something I did. Sometimes I still feel...
Okay. No, listen, I get it. Holds her finger up just for a second. Kind of like pausing you. That's what, so you're aware before she started talking. You cannot let his decisions be your fault.
And he'll nod. I tried to jump.
I know that.
Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. It's not as easy as I say, and I realize this. But his decision is not your fault. He could have chosen to stay with Gaia. He could have chosen not to attack, not to kill this bitch. Okay? He could have done many things. He could have gone Ronin. Even Ronin would have been a lot more acceptable, or he could have gone to a different sept and never spoken to you again. Any of these things would have been far more acceptable than what he chose to do. And I repeat that, what he chose to do. You did what you had to do. You had orders. He was a Garou. He knew that. It is not your fault. Regardless of what he thinks.
He'll nod. Yeah. I mean, as you said, it's not easy. I try to tell myself that. But yeah, it's not easy. But I just thought... I felt I had to tell you the entire story if you were going to take me in your pack.
Thank you.
I'm sure that
I will... She'll just add quickly at this point. I will say this much. I joined Striders without any of my packmates knowing my story. That I had a black spiral dancer of power greater than mine hunting me. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't even use my real name when I came here. I used my foster family's name, so if you hear a reference to Chloe Niccolo, that's me.
He'll nod.
I am not one who can judge you if you hadn't told us. I told my packmates not even the whole story, just some of the story after I joined. Because I didn't think it was necessary for anyone to know about the situation until I knew that they would have to defend me.
He'll nod. I don't know if it's necessary for the rest of the pack to know, but I feel it was necessary for at least whoever is going to be my alpha. And if my alpha feels it necessary for the rest of the pack to know, then it's up to my alpha. But
I will think on that, but I will tell you my first instinct. It's one thing, anything that might bring on danger to your pack, you are responsible to tell everybody who might be in danger. These people are going to be your family. If this happens, I'm not saying you have to tell them right now, but as much as it's weird and it's awkward, and you probably don't want to retell the story 5 times, maybe you can gather them up. Maybe if you're in a pack link, you can tell it that way. Whatever works. But you need to... If these people are going to stand up with you, that they have the right to understand everything that happened. If you think that it might affect them. Because he could say some really hurtful things, and you wouldn't even... And they would be going, wait, what?
Yeah, he'll nod. He's like feeling a lot of... Well, he's obviously going through a lot of emotions right now, and he'll just nod. I tell them that
it doesn't have to be
exactly.
now, and they're not even your pack at this point. I still have to talk to them. And I will not tell anybody else, because this is your story. It is your choice what you do with it. I will give you my word on that.
Thank you.
No, I understand from a little too personal of a point of view here. And that I will not allow anything that endangers my pack. And if something like that can endanger my pack, then I need to make sure everybody knows that, so everybody is aware of the danger. Because you don't want him to twist words and feed it to them so that they start believing otherwise about you.
Yeah, he'll nod. Yeah, if I feel it might endanger my pack, I will tell them.
Yeah, that's fair. That would, and she'll nod. She'll be like, I would say that for any pack, not just my own, but my own in particular, because, as I'm sure you've seen, I will protect them. I mean, we all have to fight, and I can't be in front of every single claw or bite that comes our way. But
no, it's not like a small mech. No, you can't be. I mean, you're alpha, but
I joined, it's your job.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If I join, I'll be the Arun of the pack. It's kind of my job to do that.
Yeah, well, right now I am as close to that as possible. Help with that. But I will get back to you. Your story doesn't really change my opinion of it, because as far as I'm concerned, Black Spiral Dancers are liars, and it is an incredibly unlikely thing to find any way to resolve that other than just killing them. So, kill the worm wherever it dwells. That's my point. You might have someone after you. So did I. Just change anything, because that's our duty. That's what we do.
Hold on.
And
thank you. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go.
Okay. Thank you for listening, Mariah.
And she's going to lean down to pick up her sword. and sort of offer him kind of a lopsided half smile, and she'll just be like, "I guess I'm gonna go see how badly I can use this thing." As she sort of waves it around a little bit.
Yeah, and he'll smile. I'll get back to my training too. And so she'll like take we shall go towards the dummies and take Krynos as he approaches.
Yeah, and Chloe will actually. Yeah, she's gonna go into Glabro because she can still safely hold a sword and it doesn't look too comically small in that form. And because this is not any kind of weapon that is dedicated to her, it will not size itself appropriately. And yeah, she'll take Glabro just because she's been practicing in Hamid, and it's a good idea to get closer to Krynos, which is where she will normally be when using the weapon she wants to use. And yeah, he can soon see that she is whacking away at this thing and making what appears to be attempted slashes, and she's not terrible, but she's not great yet.
And with that, I guess we can end the scene, unless you have something else.
Nope.
Okay. Well, thank you, player, for playing, and thank you, watchers, for watching.